going to be we're going to be recasting the Harry Potter universe, specifically from the movies, from the mellophone section from this year. So, yeah, 2021, 2022 mellows, them, you know them. First of all, we're going to start with the students. Not us students, we're going to start with the Hogwarts students. Starting with the, I guess, namesake of the whole Harry Potter universe, Harry Potter himself. Normally at this point in time, I would have a lot of descriptors of what Harry Potter is, or Harry Potter, the person is, like what he's like. Well, he's a Gryffindor. He doesn't have any parents. I don't really know where to go from there. It's just, you know him, you know him. If you don't know him, you should figure something out.
Who's an orphan?
You should figure your life out. Anyway, I thought Joe Farrell would make a great pick for Harry Potter. Right? I mean, just look at them. They're basically the same person. And I don't know. When I think of the vibes that Harry gives me, and I think of the vibes that Joe gives me, I think they're pretty similar. Also, it leads into a very funny picture later on that you're gonna have to stay tuned for. Okay, next one's Hermione. Part 2 of the Golden Trio, and the only female in the Golden Trio. Now I think Hermione, I do think of a smart know-it-all, but let's just go with smart and not say the know-it-all part. Hermione's smart, she's very headstrong, knows all of her spells. So for this person, I really couldn't find a bad picture, so I decided to just put their picture and just put them on a broom, hence this picture. I think Cameron would make a great Hermione. Jilly, you want to lean this against this?
No, it's okay.
Okay. Well, anyway, I think Cameron would make a great Hermione, and I mean, look at it. She's already on a broom. She's got it all figured out. Okay, and then finally, our favorite ginger, the last third of the Golden Trio. This one was kind of one of the ones I had just kind of, I'll admit it, I kind of placed it there because I ran out of ideas. So, sorry Emily, but you're Ron Weasley.
It's the hair!
The best part is I'm in the background of that picture, so we can all appreciate that. But yeah, I guess Emily's our Ron Weasley.
They're basically the same person.
Yep. And now our Neville Longbottom. And just going by the name Neville Longbottom, you can kind of get an idea of who Neville Longbottom is. He's kind of a clumsy character who ends up being a nice hero in the end, but he's definitely a clumsy character. So as you might imagine, for this character, right? I decided to cast our favorite, Danny! Our favorite person that never worked at Jimmy John's. Okay, moving on. We have Luna. And I don't know if you can tell from the picture, but Luna's quite a quirky character. I wouldn't say weird, but she's definitely weird. Got a lot of quirks. Can anyone guess? Michael, can you guess who this is?
I feel like I'm going to be terribly wrong, but I would cast Mrs. Berkeley 12 times.
Really? Well,
Yeah.
you're wrong. It's Rachel. I casted her as Rachel.
They even look the same in those pictures.
That's probably better. Rachel does kind of look like Berkeley in that picture.
And the only thing I was thinking of is when Rachel showed up to Halloween with like that thing around, like, what was she? Oh, like the Etch-a-Sketch thing. What's
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Whatever it was. And I just was like, that seems like something Luna would do. Okay, moving on to Draco. Now, please forgive the picture. It's very hard to find like a good picture of Draco that shows like just Draco, and this one has the hearts around it. As a benefit, the hearts, I put myself as Draco. It kind of makes the hearts, but there's another fun thing with this is the fact that people love to write fan fiction about Harry and Draco. And if we remember who Harry was, it was Joe.
No!
And me being
I know what picture
Draco,
this is going to be.
that leads to this picture. Well, number one, this is an example of like a fanfic. Imagine these two like
On a
getting
broomstick
together and
together.
becoming like best friends. And now look at this picture. Like, come on, isn't that something that like? Look at that. Look
I
at
knew this
that.
picture was going to show up at some point.
Yes, it's one of my favorite pictures ever, and it just so happens that it's perfect with me and Joe. Okay, now Ginny Weasley. Well, in the movies they kind of did her dirty, but she's Ron's younger sister. She's really good at Quidditch, very good at sports, female. I imagine, I don't really know who else I picked for this one. I picked Izzy. Like, I don't really have any bad pictures of Izzy. This is one who's soaking wet, but you can't even tell because she's wearing a hat. No, Izzy's kidding. Okay, moving on to Cedric Diggory, our favorite vampire in the Harry Potter universe. Played played by Robert Pattinson.
Look at that man's asshole.
Oh.
Michael.
And the best part about this one is the person who I picked is making the same face as Cedric in this picture. Michael, do you want to take a guess as to who Cedric might be?
No.
Okay. Well, you guessed right. It was Maddie Broad. And I just saw this picture of Maddie Broad and I said, yeah, that checks out. Okay, moving on to the professors at Hogwarts in the Harry Potter universe. First one, Snape. Besides all like the redemption arc he gets, just think about him as a character before that, because the redemption arc makes him a very complicated character, and in turn very difficult to cast. So if you just go off of like Snape, you think of like who would make a good Snape in the real world?
Who's dead?
I picked Nadav. I think Nadav would be hilarious. Especially like in the one scene where he like literally just slaps, I think Harry or Ron with like a book.
Can we please get Nadav a wig?
I could just totally imagine Nadav smacking someone in the back of the head with a book. I don't know why. My reasoning for this one's a little stupid, but Remus is kind of a pretty cool character. He's a pretty good teacher, but the main thing, he's got a little bit of werewolf in him. And I picked Amelia. I just couldn't help it, like, now Amelia's got a little werewolf in her, and I don't like that. But we're gonna move on real fast. Dumbledore! Dumbledore. Old and wise, and kind of like the head honcho of the Harry Potter universe, but just in Hogwarts. He's the headmaster, basically like the principal. Yeah, you know, it's Dumbledore. He's old. Who do you think is old? It's Ian. Ian's old, Dumbledore's old. They make sense. Professor McGonagall. Now, it's kind of like the top women. No. The head woman in Hogwarts. Yeah, imagine the head woman in engineering. Basically, very, again, headstrong. I like to use that word. Kind of scary sometimes, but most of the time has a really nice heart and is a super nice lady. Except when you're just doing something stupid. Hence, I picked Rebecca. I think Rebecca would make a perfect McGonagall.
I like how you've chosen that you're in the background of every photo.
Yeah, I made it. But yes, I think Rebecca would make a good McGonagall. Okay, this one's another difficult one. My reasoning for this was like, okay, well, he's a professor, but he kind of doesn't really show up that much in the movies. He has his like own thing on the side. He's an Auror at the Ministry of Magic. So if you think about someone who's kind of like a professor, but honestly you don't see that much because they have another side thing, or because they do another thing on the side. I think Michael's guessing it right, but I picked Katie.
Oh, that was not what I was saying.
Imagine like, imagine the Reamers as like the Ministry of Magic Aurors, and then you basically have a good comparison between Katie and Mad Eye Moody. Sorry, Katie.
And they have the same eye.
So for Gilderoy Lockhart, I don't really have any reasons for this. I just could not think of anyone else but Joey for this one. Like, this one just made me laugh so much when I like picked it. He was one of the ones where I just picked it and I said, yeah, we're going with that one. Like, didn't need any other explanation. And next we have Dolores Umbridge. And honestly, in the movies, I kind of hate Dolores, and I hate her in the books.
I was gonna say she's bad in the books.
She's a grade A bitch. Not to say that this person that I casted is a grade A bitch, but I feel like if you think of like the presence of Dolores and how she is like when she walks into a room, not because she's a bitch, but because of her presence when she walks in the room. Please forgive me, this person who I'm about to show. I picked Sophia.
Oh, interesting.
I just think like she could pull off the whole like presence and like mannerisms of Dolores, not because Sophia is a huge bitch. Let me get that straight.
Make that very clear.
Hagrid. Michael, can you guess who I picked for Hagrid?
I like how you keep saying anybody and then Michael.
Yep, anybody in the room, Shaylee or Michael.
I don't know, Dane.
Yep, you nailed it.
No, Michael!
And funny enough, Dane doesn't look any different than his freshman year when this picture was taken. Maybe his hair color changed and his haircut's different, but he looks the same.
Yeah.
If you told me this was taken like this year, I would definitely believe you. Okay, now we're on to the baddies of the Harry Potter universe, the fun ones.
Wait a second, drink.
First, we're starting out with Lucius, who's not really a baddie, but he's definitely like not good. I mean, he's a Death Eater, so like I guess that makes him pretty bad. He's also Draco's dad, which is funny because I'm Draco again. So there's only one logical choice for this, and it's Jaylee.
Yes!
Michael, your face got cut off a little bit. Yes, I mean, just look at that. It's basically like the same image. I think Michael's on the back, but like.
You're lucky that Jason doesn't have a blonde hair picture of you.
Look, it's the same image. It works perfect. I think this would be actually a great pick. Okay, now we're going with Bellatrix. And actually, I found Bellatrix's casting based on me looking through the photos for this. I found a photo and I was just like, well, this just screams Bellatrix. Oh, that's not it. And it's Caroline. So I saw this picture and I was like, this is a great Bellatrix picture. And that's basically why Caroline was cast as Bellatrix. I feel like she could pull it off if we actually had to like be other characters. I feel like she could do it. Okay, the big bad of them all, Voldemort. As you can see, he's ripped. He has very nice supple white skin.
He has really, really nice hair.
Yeah, really nice hair.
And a nice nose.
And a nice nose. And this is going to be hilarious that Michael just said that because it's Michael! That's my cast for Voldemort. The Dark Lord himself, Michael Weddle. There he is. I'm just going to leave this up here for a little bit because I really like this pic.
Throwing up the soggy dog.
Alright. Okay, next up we have a literal Death Eater. A literal Dementor. Sorry, that's not a Death Eater, that's a Dementor. He sucks your soul out. And then there's only one logical choice for this one too. I kind of hate how like well these pictures match up. Especially because Michael's in the background of the song. But yeah, I think this is a perfect match. I will not have any words on this one. This is a perfect match. There's no better casting. And then miscellaneous characters, ones that I couldn't group up into students, professors, or baddies. First of all, we have the Weasleys. And in particular, Arthur and Molly Weasley, or the parents of Ron and Ginny, amongst others. And this is another casting that I think I have spot on, and I don't want any further questions about this one, because I think I nailed both of these characters right on the money. And I picked Hunter and Berkeley, respectively, for Molly and Arthur Weasley.
I'd call Berkeley Daddy.
I don't know about that one, but I do think that both of these people would fit their characters very well. Especially Hunter and Molly Weasley. I feel like they have very similar energies. Oh, Berkeley. Tonks was a bit of a kind of a weird one to pick, honestly, just because I feel like Tonks doesn't really show up that much in the movies. So I was just like, you know what? The outfit, the general like outfit vibe, and the hair. I originally had Emily. In this one.
I was saying, that's what I was thinking.
But then I chose a different pick, or like a different person for this, and I ended up picking
I can see
I ended up picking Maddie P for this, which honestly I like this choice a lot better, and I feel like it just the vibe matches a lot better than Emily's would have, especially because Emily's a Weasley. But yeah, that's generally my decision on why I went with that one. Okay, Moaning Myrtle. The pick for Moaning Myrtle, I don't even need, there's no introduction to this. It's I thought this pick was hilarious when I did it. I was like, this is another perfect one in my opinion. I don't think you can do any better than that. There's no better bathroom ghost than McKenna, I suppose. So now we're moving on to Sirius, who's Harry's godfather, and well, he's a very suave man, played by Gary Oldman originally. Super cool. Seems like a super cool guy. Definitely a guy that you would trust to know everything. Definitely to have everything under control at all possible times, which is why I went with Aiden, who's the perfect amalgamation of all that, as you can see by this picture. He definitely has everything under control right here. Alright, next up we got Dudley. And thank you, Maddie B, for this one. This is all her. we kind of just rolled with it when she chose, but we chose Brayden for this one. I mean, it just makes sense. It's Dudley and Brayden. And, you know, Dudley's a bowler in the Harry Potter universe. Brayden's a bowler in real life. The choice is obvious. And we come to our final pick, which is our casting for Dobby. Now, if you're doing the math, there's only one person left.
Yes. Yes.
So, if the person's watching the video that Chili's recording, hopefully they know who they are at this point. But there's another one where I wanted to end on a really funny note, and I thought this one was hilarious, and I think this one's a pretty good casting as well. So last but not least, both in characters and in the mellows, we have Tegan.
Tegan!
Because when you're trapped in like the basement of the Malfoy Manor, and you need someone to let you out, and you look into like a strange mirror, and someone comes and just apparates into the room to save you, you imagine it's Tegan. It's like, oh my god, and then she's like, hey. That's it. That's my presentation.
Woo!
We officially casted the mellows as Harry Potter characters.
Yay!